Well, I think we've taken a bunch of steps. I think we have a bunch of steps to go. And too many times coaches go ahead and give you some phrase, well, here's exactly where we are, or just, try to tell you some sugar-coated thing. But for us to be competitive on a weekly basis, we have a lot of work to do. I think that offensively we're ahead of our defense, but I truly believe that we're going to be much improved on defense. Not only philosophically do I believe in what they're doing, but I do believe that with some of the guys that we have coming in, interjected with the people we have here, I think that come September, I think we'll be much improved. Well, I mean, I could have, what I could have done, I could have created some situations to make to have the game closer. But I mean, I didn't have to call reverses and I didn't have to call flea flickers. But the fans want to have some fun too. I mean, Jay Keep's first throw right here is a flea flicker. I mean, so I mean, I didn't have to call those things, but at the same time, part of the spring game is to have some fun too. And I thought that, maybe the blue team had a little bit more fun than the white team, but I think there were a lot of guys that had an opportunity out there to make plays that either did or didn't, that will show up very clearly when we watch the tape. And we've had that conversation, several times where, which Michael Reynolds is we going to have here today? So when I know Michael's going to come in here, the one thing he'll tell you, and you can ask him, that there was a play last week where we had 3 different coaches coach him on the same play about going full speed. And then at the end of practice, I called Michael out, and not in a negative vein. I said, Michael, do you realize why you have 3 different coaches calling you out? Because you're one of the guys here that can make that play. I said, because that's the reason why they're saying it. If they didn't think you were good enough, no one would be talking to you. They would just be ignoring you. But my whole coaching point to him is he's one of the guys who can really help us. And hopefully today just is another step for him turning the corner.
What went into putting the roster together? Obviously, it was pretty weighted on the Blues side. What was the reasoning and philosophy behind having bulk of your talent on that side?
Jay Keeps is a backup quarterback. I mean, because Michael Cummings right now would be our second quarterback. So you want to see Jay Keeps go run the other team when he's gonna be sitting for a year, or do you want to get a guy get some legitimate snaps to see where he is as we move forward? And I think that probably of all the factors that we could say, that would probably be the one critical one that I could have changed. I could have put Jake over there, but that doesn't help our team. No, that doesn't help our team. That doesn't help our team get ready. I mean, Michael needed the reps because he's going to be the one competing to be number 2 right now. Jake is not going to be competing in that position for this year.
What do you think of Mike today?
I think Mike has too many times people get stereotyped. Everyone wants to say, well, Mike's the athletic quarterback. Mike's got a cannon for an arm. He's not tall. He's on the shorter side, but he has a cannon for an arm. So him throwing the ball is not the issue. His experience is the issue right now. But he's a freshman. I mean, he's been here 1 year. That's part of it's part of your process right here. But one thing, he can make every throw. There's not a question whether he can make every throw, because some people, I wonder, he can throw it now. He has no problem, and now we have to get him, more fine-tuned in running the offense.
Can you talk a little more about?
Let me just talk about one day. Let me talk about the spring. I've been pretty pleased with the competition at wide receiver. I've been pretty pleased, and I'm pretty pleased at the depth too. Going into the off season or getting ready for the summertime, I'm not going to lose any sleep about having enough contenders at wide receiver. I think that we'll have enough guys to catch the ball. Yes, yeah. Tobin. What we did with Tobin today, because we wanted Tobin to play every play. Sure. Okay, we made him a cross between an end and a Sam linebacker, because that's what he's going to be. He's going to be a cross between an end and a Sam linebacker. See, in this league, not very many people play regular offensive personnel groupings. Tobin's natural position is a Sam linebacker. but no one plays that. Offensive philosophy, no one plays that, so you'd be wasting a good player by just making him a full-time Sam linebacker. You know, you'd be wasting a good player. So, you know, he's a defensive end, and if you were playing against a team that just wanted to load up and try to pound you, he'd be a Sam linebacker. You know, so.
Coach, what kind of a workload ideally do you envision for a guy like Tony Pearson?
Well, I'd say that,
Turnout, I mean, was it what you expected?
I don't know the numbers, but the numbers weren't as important as the engagement. I mean, I felt the crowd was engaged. They weren't just there for a sunny day. I mean, they were into the game, and you know, I think that we'll work on those bigger numbers as we get closer to September. But I thought that they were engaged, and I think that's a good thing. So I guess I think its greatest passion is to detest your most notorious rival. I think that's always a good thing. You know, so not knowing the guy, I think that he and I would probably get along just fine. You know, so I think it's good. You know, that's, you know, I said, well, who is this guy?